Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on a gatefold page of the 6x6 mini album that I'm creating for the December Daily 2022. Obviously, this album can be used for any theme, but I'm creating a Christmas album, but you can use it for any sort of theme. I've already put together the base pages and some of the other pages, and you can check out this channel to find the process videos of those. And this album is based on cut files that I made in the Silhouette Studio, and almost all files that I'm using for this album are freebies that you can collect in a series of parts on my blog, MistyHilltops.com. So this particular cut file is a gatefold, and it comes with two flaps, two pockets, a 4x4 journaling card. And when I say 4x4, I mean it's slightly larger than 4x4 so that you can put a 4x4 paper of some sort, or journaling card or whatever, onto this. And I have not added the pattern papers. There are cut files for the pattern papers that go with this as well, but I have not, I'm not putting together the pattern papers yet, so all I'm working on is the cut files for the cardstock. Okay, and so right now I'm not going to use this part. This will be added later. And so here I have one of my base pages and the waterfall I showed before, and on the next page is where I want to put my gatefold. Obviously, if you download the freebie and create your own album, you can choose wherever you want to put your things in the order. You can move things around. This is just how I decide to do it. Okay, so we start by putting down the two flaps, or actually I think we can probably start by putting the pockets on the flaps. That might be easier. So there are these flaps for gluing, and I start with one side. I don't put glue on both sides because I like to work one by one. So I just put some glue down. Oh, messing things up a little. Down here, rubbing away the glue, and then I have to see which way it goes actually. Yeah, I think it's probably even better if we put it this way. That way the gate has a little more, so you could put it, it's made to fit this way, but I think this way will actually be less difficult in the closing. So I'm putting this on the flap so that the pocket, so basically the flap for the gluing goes with the flap for the gluing. That's what it is. Okay, so that way the opening of the pocket will be here. So I just make sure it's flush. It's a small enough file that it's easy to work with. There are much bigger cut files here that make it more difficult, but this one is an easy one. And so I make sure that it thoroughly adheres before I put glue on this side. And I haven't worked with this album in a long time, so that's why I was hesitating at first which way to put it. But I think this way is easier. It gives a little space between the pages if I make the pocket longer rather than put it in the white. Again, this is actually the size of this, so if you want to put it this way, but I think then it might kind of interact with the other gate, and so with the other wing of that gatefold, so, or the flap. Okay, so I do the same thing with this side. Again, I make sure that I will start here at the bottom, but I will make sure that the glue flap is on the side where the glue flap is for the flap, the big flap, the gatefold. And so that flap would go here, so it's the two flaps there, and so I put this part down right here, and I want to make sure it's flush with every edge that I'm working with, giving me a little gap here, which works just fine. Okay, so again, I only start with the glue on one of the flaps so that I can wiggle things around more easily, and then once this is fixed, I can work on the other one, and that makes things much easier. So once this is glued down, all right, and here we go. These are freebie cut files that you can find on my blog, mistyhilltops.com. So now I'm ready to put down the two flaps, which finishes my gatefold. All right, so I will start. It doesn't matter which flap you start with. Really, you would probably know that yourself, but just in case we have a complete beginner, I also want to mention this. Okay, and obviously I need to make sure that I'm working with the right, so that bottom is bottom, so I'm checking with here so that I didn't accidentally turn around my book. It matters in the grand theme of things, or scheme of things, I should say. Now, as I'm putting this down, I'm also closing this page, because what will happen is that it will push. If I want this page to close really flat, I need to have a tiny bit of a distance. You can see that now. There's the fold line, and while I started by putting it directly against the fold line, I quickly closed it when my glue still was not dry, because what it does, it pushes the flap a little further away, and that ensures that that my page can close really flat. Okay, if you don't do this, your page will be opening up like this, because the edge here will put too much of a strain on the fold there. So I do this on purpose, and it will close. Right now there's not enough material on it, so it's just too light and it will lift off. But so this is the one gatefold, and I'm still making sure that I press this down very nicely. And then here I really want to go flush with the edge of this page, so I just put the glue down on this flap, and then I really just make sure that it goes all the way to the edge, because for this part it really isn't that important that it should have a little space here. Okay, so whoops, it just slipped off my page. I moved too fast. So putting it back on, just making sure it's flush with the edge of the page. I like things to look really well. Okay, and then it closes, so I'm just pressing it down here. So, and then you see there's a small overlap. Either you put it this way or this way, but make sure that there's this small overlap. I think that overlap comes from here, but this is why I made sure the pocket doesn't go all the way here. So pay attention when you put down the pocket, even though that it's kind of misleading, because even though this fits right here, you want to put it this way, because that gives you a little space, and that's where your 4x4 card comes in, or any size journaling card, and you can put this here, and this closes your gatefold. Okay, and obviously once you add more photos and papers, then things will close. So this is the second page, and then you can put pattern papers here. There will be a file where you can add pattern papers here, because these I find difficult to cut by hand because they have a diagonal going down, and then you can put pattern papers here and pattern papers or photos, whichever way you want to go. Okay, so this is the gatefold page that comes with this mini album, and you will find it on my blog mistyhilltops.com as a free download, as a free silhouette cut file. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Consider giving this a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.